find movies on over-the-air channel 13.3. Movies. Our name says it all.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect With Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Glad you're here on Connect With Me. It's an Ask an Expert day. We're going to tell you how to redesign the inside of your home. Getting ready to sell a house? Maybe. We have an expert in the house to talk about it today for the full hour from 10 to 11. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in just a moment. Welcome back to the program. I'm so glad you're here on a Thursday morning. The week is almost gone. Where in the heck did it go? Hey, just a reminder, tomorrow we are going to have a show about child abuse, and a special guest will be in the studio to talk about that. Apparently, it's a major problem right here in the Central Valley. They're trying to do something about it. So you can watch that show tomorrow, and you can catch all of our shows anytime that you want, every Monday through Friday, live on Comcast, channel 187, 43.6, and 13.1, between 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning. And I guess, is 8.1 up yet? No? No, we don't know. Okay, well, tune in to 8.1 and find out, because at some point we'll be on all 4 stations, 8.1 as well. And then the replay, you know, I run into a lot of people that watch the replay in the middle of the day. How do you like that? 2 o'clock, 13.6, 8 o'clock at night on 4.6 Biz TV. I run into even more people who say they watch the replays on YouTube. They watch all of our shows on YouTube. Can you believe that? Well, the Twitter account is the same, has not changed, at John Mallos, Me TV. Special program, Ask an Expert Day on this day here on Connect With Me. You know, most people clean their garages, their closets, their bedrooms, their hallways, their homes, the kids' room, right? The guest room. In the springtime, it's called spring cleaning. Ever hear of that? In the meantime, some realtors are busy selling homes in the spring and summer, because that's the hottest time to sell a home, maybe to buy a home, maybe to get the best price. Let's roll the videotape, show you exactly what I'm talking about today. If you're a homeowner looking to sell your home, there is the big question, the $64,000 question, my friends, that always looms. Okay, do I refurbish my home so I can get more money, or do I leave it as is? Sell the place as is, less money, yes. It's basically a catch-22. You got to weigh your options. What to do, right? So many options. And sometimes we all need help in making those difficult decisions. As we take a look at the inside of one of these homes in the city of Fresno, the living room, actually, as you can see, the home owner did a whole new makeover to sell this place. We'll also take a look at other parts of this house during the course of this program for the next hour or so, and talk about your options in redecorating. I also want to show you some before and after photos, all right? Here's some furniture, pictures of furniture. Not only can you remake a room, but give it a facelift. The goods inside can make all the difference. Decisions, decisions, decisions. We have an expert in the house today to help you make those tough calls, the before and after photos. And live in our studio right now is Steph Stoltenberg, a local real estate agent and a home designer. She's here to tell you, or advise you, if you will, on what you can do to refurbish the inside of your home if you're trying to sell it, trying to impress any potential buyer, or, you know, if you want to just leave your home as is and sell it as is. A lot of times it's less hassle, it's less work, and it costs you less money, although in the marketplace you'll get less money. 436-ME-TV, option 11, have an open line right now. We'll show you some video tape. We'll also show you some before and after pictures, and we'll talk to our expert. Back here on the program in just a moment.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
Take a look at this. Let's play.
This is too hip for you. I'll slow down.
Let's play.
Watch all your favorite classic game shows on Buzzer TV, KBBC Digital Channel 13.7.
You know, I kind of feel like this is the home and garden show here today on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. Maybe you'll join in 436 MeTV option 11. Remember, tomorrow's program, all important as well, talking about child abuse, and we'll certainly focus on that issue with a special guest here in the studio tomorrow. In the meantime, Steph Stoltenberg is here talking about home decorations, and you're a real estate agent, you're a home decorator. You go to the home garden show, right?
Absolutely.
Every year?
Absolutely. Most every year, yes, unless there's some reason I can't be there.
Okay, tell me what ideas you get from that garden show. It just dawned on me. Do you get your ideas from there, or?
Well, you know, honestly, I get my ideas everywhere. You can imagine the show's great because you're actually hands-on. You can see things. There's a lot of demonstrations and things that happen there. But then also just television, you know, HGTV and all the other shows that are on, Fix This House, and even things like the pawn shop shows. They're just great because you see all kinds of people doing things that you never thought of before, and it helps me with what I do to kind of think, well, okay, we probably can redo something cheaply, inexpensively, and actually make it look interesting. So
yeah, and you can watch a lot of some of these shows on like PBS, like This Old House. I've seen. You can get a lot of your tips from
absolutely.
But what they're doing looks like a lot of work.
It is. You know, it's all work, truthfully. But I think people are more courageous. And they'll actually even jump in to do things themselves, where before maybe it would be like, oh gosh, I could never paint a room myself, and I would never want to try to even paint some furniture. But the truth is, it's paint. You know, how wrong can you go? You can repaint it if you don't like it. So I think more and more people are actually jumping in themselves instead of feeling like they got to hire it all done. And it's way cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I painted my daughter's room last summer, and first time I'd painted in years, and it was a lot of work. It's not the painting itself. I mean, even my daughter, who's 12, she can paint. She picked up a brush and a roller and did everything. Right, it's the prep work that's the pain.
It is. It's the prep and it's the details. You know, if you walk into a house and you see a wall painted and somebody has meticulously made sure that the edges are actually the way they're supposed to be versus, you know, sort of kind of getting up there or heading over, it makes a humongous difference. You know, people walk in and they feel a natural sense of peace. I think it's important to do the detail work, the prep work, and then finish afterwards, make sure it's all done well.
I think I did a pretty good job on the edges, even up on the ceilings, you know, along that.
Were you happy with the paint that you used? Did it seem to cover pretty well?
Not my colors, brown and pink.
Okay,
but, I mean,
but the coverage, you know, I think that you had mentioned it turned out when we had talked about it.
It turned out okay.
Yeah,
it was good.
Because honestly, the paints nowadays, I'm a big Home Depot Behr paint fan, and it's amazing.
Why is that paint good?
You know, they have primer in it now, and 10 years ago, I used to do a lot of different things, painting and helping people and stuff, doing my own house and all. And if you didn't put a primer, 2 coats of primer, solid white wall, and then put a paint on top of it, you never got the color off the chip. The color would bleed through off the bottom. But I will tell you that the newest paints, the primer is amazing. You just paint it on with the primer, and you don't even have to go to that trouble anymore.
It's in the paint now.
It's in the paint.
Is in the paint.
And they even have their marquee brand that they say 1 coat. And honestly, I've done 1 coat, and usually you'd at least need 2. But no, it's good.
Yeah, I did 1 coat, but there were some spots that I missed, and we had to go over it because, you know, you look the next day when the light's shining through the window, and it's like it looks different.
Right.
So you can see the spots that you missed. But yeah, the prep work has always been there. It's never changed, and that's where the majority of the painstaking, what should I say, work is.
Yes, it's true.
It's just.
And here's the thing. You can always repaint, right? But there are people that will look at a wall and they feel like, oh, I didn't really get a good color, and they won't go to the trouble to take it all back apart, and repaint it because it's not that costly. Now, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've redone rooms 2-3 times years ago when I was first trying to learn about paint colors. Now I can actually go, and that's why people hire me, because it's very easy for me to look at the colors now and go, okay, wait a minute, you'll probably like this, this, and that, and where they'll stand hours looking at something and too afraid to make those choices. So
Yeah.
in that case, I maybe have more confidence, but you should always take a room apart and redo it if you're not happy with it.
Yeah, but a brown and pink, how do you paint over that? Let's say you want to redo it white now. Let's say I want to sell a house and I want to redo the
Absolutely.
room white. How do you paint over brown?
Those paints with that primer in it, it is good. I will tell you, I didn't believe it. So when they first came out, before the Marquee brand came out with Behr, they had the earlier one that they still carry that has the primer in it. And I put it over a dark chocolate wall that I needed to because of that fact. We were painting out a house, and so I brought it in, and it worked. 2 coats, no primer, and it was perfectly white. So, you know, it wasn't really true white. It had a little bit of color in it. But I'm just saying, a very, very light wall, and it worked. So there's really no excuse to not, to not be bold and try things, because you can just repaint them if you're going to leave and you need to do it.
If
So
you have the time. I mean, you make it sound
stop.
so easy. If you have the time.
Do you
I mean,
watch television at night?
Occasionally. I don't have a lot of time.
Well.
I do, but not.
A lot of people have more free time than they think.
I'm not glued to the tube at night. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's when I do a lot of painting.
Yeah.
I'm busy during the day, but I do furniture painting, I do wall painting, and you just got to find the time. Weekends.
Yeah. Steph Stoltenberg is here. Got to take a break here on Connect with Me, talking about home redecoration and painting and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be back with your phone calls. Got an open line 436-ME-TV option 11. A lot of video to get to and pictures to show you, and also have some props here on the set that we can talk about here on the program. Back in just a moment.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Francisco Molina Nieve has been on the run since March 2008. The police and the FBI need your help tracking this coward down. He's wanted for brutally beating his girlfriend and for the use of a firearm. He has 3 freckles and a crescent shape under his right eye. Call the Colorado FBI at 303-629-7171 if you know where he's hiding.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highways.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker.
I'm John Baker. It's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there!
Officer Poncherello, ma'am.
Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada on
Now on
Chips.
MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program, Connect with Me, one of your favorite shows, right? You can watch us any time of day or night now, since we're on YouTube, and a lot of people do watch our shows on YouTube now. It's unbelievable, Steph. They don't watch the live program at 10. They watch us on YouTube and all the replays.
It's convenient.
It's convenient. You could be up at 2 in the morning and watch the show on
Yay.
YouTube. And all these shows are up there. I'm fascinated by that. And I am fascinated. We have a call. Hey, caller, how are you? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good, good. Hey, what's your question today?
Yes, my question is, I inherited a house. It took me 4 years to get it out of escrow or probate, I guess, because it was a tax lien and whatever. Now that I almost have a complete, the house is 2,000 square feet built in 1993. I'm debating whether to rent it out for a couple of years to get the income and do away with the tax lien, or just go and sell the houses in Bakersfield.
Okay. Is there anything owed on the house?
There's nothing owed on the house. I had to pull a loan off mine to pay the tax.
Well,
it was a tax lien of about $60,000 on it, so I took a loan on my house that was free and clear, and there's nothing on that house.
So as I understand it, the house is free and clear. It's paid for, but there's a $60,000 tax lien on it. Is that true?
There's a $60,000 lien I took out a loan on my house that I'm living in up in the North Valley. And so I took that loan so I could pay off the lien
Okay.
on the house.
Okay. You know, the biggest consideration I think that you would have as far as a rental, because in my mind, the longer you keep the property, probably the value is just going to continue to increase unless something really dramatic happens in our market. But one of the concerns, I don't know, the upkeep on a rental and actually to get things ready to rent. And, you know, as you get renters in, considerations, costs and things that you have there, it's a little bit of a headache, but it could definitely be worth it if you're up for it. Now, as I listen, if there's if you're not really interested in going that route, sometimes it's just easier just to get rid of a property just because of those reasons, you know, to sell it, do something different with the money, invest it somewhere else. Too much headache, you know, finding the renters, keeping things up. If they hurt the house, you're going to have to bring in cash, you know, to have to fix things up. So really, it's such a personal decision. I always am an advocate of holding on to property as long as you can, but it's not always practical for people. So it really is personal at that point.
How old is the house, caller?
The house was built in 1993.
93.
I went through the entire house,
And
replaced air conditioning.
And does that
everything's replaced, electrical, everything. It had mold and mildew, so I had to rip it all out and start from basic the studs. And I got certified that it's all right. You know.
It sounds like the house has a lot of work, right? Needs a lot of work.
Well, it sounds, and that's the other consideration, you know, whether you sell it or rent it, you have to determine, are you willing to even do that work? And of course, there are people, and I've sold homes in the worst condition, but we adjust the price to reflect that. So it's really more what your long-term goals are. You know, if you want to hold on to something for years and years as a rental or pass it on or something, that's a great option. But if the work factor, you don't have all of the people to do the things that need to be done, that's another consideration.
And if it's draining your bank account.
Yeah, if it's draining your bank account, your energy, and it's just a headache, you know, sometimes it's just better to get rid of it, just to sell it as is, you know, and just find somebody that will pick it up.
Yeah, that's a great call. Thank you, caller. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good luck with that house.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a tough
absolutely.
decision. So just based on what you know from his home, just from what we know very little.
Right.
I mean, the tip of the iceberg. What would you advise him to do if he were to
my gut,
ask you directly? What should I do with this house?
Yeah, my gut, as I'm listening, and in all fairness, when I hear maybe that his health is a little bit waning there, I know how much headache it is for renters, and so in the best of health. You know what I mean? You're going to be out showing the house. You're going to lose them, possibly. What if you ever had to evict them? There's so many considerations.
But you can hire an agent to monitor the house or manage the home, right?
That's true.
And does that get costly?
Well, what about 10%?
Okay.
Usually. Is what I understand, you know, those rates to be. But again, you know, there's cash out of pocket. You know, you bring somebody in and they're going to bring their workers in to do whatever work needs to be done. And if there's issues, you know, he used the word mildew, and that's kind of a funny one because, you know.
Is that like mold?
Yeah, see, and that's the one you don't want to use.
I don't even want to hear that
Yeah,
word.
because, you know, in my job as a realtor, you know, then there's, are you an expert? Do you know if it's mold or not? You know, there's those kind of considerations, and then you get into how to actually deal with it, and you know, so there's a lot to think about and consider.
Yeah, and so you have to consider how much work does the home need? Can you afford it?
Yes.
Can you afford the time, effort, and money it's going to take to find a renter?
Yes.
Then you have to worry about upkeep.
Yep. And that's
because renters can be tough on houses.
Well, and in the worst case
appliances.
scenario, if you have to evict them, what is it, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and all the time that they're in there? You know, the laws are pretty stringent.
Is that what it takes? You have to go to court?
You have to go to court. You have to file paperwork. They have certain timelines. I'm not an expert in it, but I do know that they have timelines and things that you have to go past. You know, it could be months before you get them out. So you have lost rent on top of the legal fees. And that's the worst case scenario, right?
My goodness. Wow. That's a great call, though. I like
yeah.
that. I like that. That's kind of fits in line with what we're talking about today. Got to take a break. Steph Stoltenberg is here. She is a realtor. She's a home decorator and designer. And 436-MeTV, option 11 is the telephone number here. The Home and Garden Show here on Connect With Me. Back in a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
From a top-secret location, it's the spies who love me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar?
Possibly.
And smart.
The old finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program today on a Thursday morning on Connect With Me, Ask an Expert and Steph Stoltenberg. I want to roll some videotape that we took here. Got to put my trusty glasses on. I did not get these at Dr. Thomas Casagrande, our sponsor here, but I got to go out there because, you know, I'm getting old now.
Me too, I hear you.
No, you're not.
Yes,
you're still in your, what, 20s, 30s?
Oh, you make me feel so good.
All right, the living room. Let's roll the monologue video. It's called The Living Room because we did take a look at it.
Yes.
So what house is this and what did you do?
I have two houses. It's a house that we sold and then moved into a new house, my cellar. So this is her second house that we moved into. When she purchased it, it was all white. Everything was old and worn out, and so new flooring, new paint, and then the furniture you're looking at is what we purchased when she was selling the big house to move into her other house here. It helped us get more money for her big house when she originally sold and downsized into this. So.
And that's the kitchen table is redone there?
Yes, that kitchen table actually I found on Craigslist, and the top was in good condition and all, but I thought she needed a little bit more drama, so I painted it yellow, and we just dressed out the bottom and then left the chairs with it and everything and just added a kind of a touch of color to her house.
You know, the thing is, when you get furniture like this, yeah, I know this for a fact. You never know if it's going to look good until you get it in there. And then if it doesn't look good, can you return it?
No.
Can you take it back?
No. You know what?
So you got to be right on the money the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can do that?
Well, she paid me to really well for my time to go do what I did, right? So what I look for is real streamline. If you look at that furniture, it's very straight lines.
Yeah.
The chocolate I knew would go in well with everything we were
How
doing.
did you
So
know
we
that?
did chocolate, just trial and error. I mean, honestly, chocolate is a very popular color right now. So that wasn't terribly hard. But you know what was interesting? If you look in this picture here, if you look at the curtains in the back, the blue curtains, I did chocolate and blue with her home, and then I bought, when we were selling her big home, these blue curtains, and we brought everything over and it all fit, and she didn't know if she liked the blue curtains. And
is this the after picture here?
Yes, this is the after.
Yeah, let's see
do
the
you have the
before.
before? Because it's pretty
I wanna see the
dramatic.
before.
There it is, a different angle, but everything in that room, you can see how stark white both the flooring, the walls, the
Yeah.
curtains, and everything were. So she
That
put
was
in,
before.
that's before,
Okay, now let's take a look at the after.
that's
Oh
after.
my God.
So one thing you may not notice or know
Wow.
when you're looking at the floor, it looks like wood, but that's the new tile that looks like wood. So when people walk into her home, she feels like, it looks like and feels like wood flooring, but truly it's tile and very sturdy. The walls, we did 3 different colors of paint, hired a paint contractor, and I just picked the different walls that the colors would go on.
What colors?
A tannish, brownish, like she didn't like really dark brown, so kind of a brownish medium tone, a beige, and then a white that wasn't stark white, but just had a little bit of cream color to it. So there are basically 3 different colors of neutral beige all the way.
Kids would really tear that place up. You know,
You think?
a couple of 2 or 3 kids in there. But,
Well,
you
she
know.
has 3 big boys.
Really?
And
Well, I'm
they,
not talking about big kids. I'm talking about ages 5 to
well,
14.
here's the thing. But let me just tell you something. There's nothing in this house that isn't sturdy. The furniture, I got all of that off of Craigslist. I paid, like for the 2 couches, I paid maybe $400 or whatever, and they're brand spanking new. Somebody was moving in and needed to get rid of 1 set of couches. The table wasn't very expensive. The flooring is all tile. You can't hurt that. And then she's got granite on her countertops. So there's really nothing that she has there that's terribly expensive.
Okay, and you can't tear the floor up, can you? Because it's pretty sturdy.
You could pour water on that, come back 2 days later, and where a wood floor, that would totally buckle it. It's completely durable, and it looks amazing.
All right, let's take a look at the, let me see here. I got to see what we're looking at here. Kitchen and dining room. Let's take a look at that videotape there, and then maybe we got some before and afters of that. This is what area here?
This is similar. This is a different angle to what we were looking at. There's the kitchen table again.
There's the table there a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the color is not quite exact, but you get an idea.
Looks like a yellow tabletop?
Yeah, that table is very bright yellow. That's the only true color that you've got there, but the wall behind it is a little bit more of a tan. The lighting isn't that fabulous in here, but and then we put, you'll see the before and after photos, but she didn't have granite. I think it was white tile in there with that whitewashed oak.
Yep.
So we had painters come in, paint out those cabinets to black, and then put in the new granite.
So you didn't change the cabinets out. You just painted them.
We just painted them.
And put handles on them.
And put handles on them. And then the backsplash, that's a beautiful glass backsplash. It was so fun picking that out to kind of go along. We wanted everything to have a little bit of a modern flair. She had purchased the refrigerator secondhand from a girlfriend of hers for the other house because she had white everything and it just stuck out with all the new things that we did.
Maybe you got that Ventura TV or something.
No, she bought that secondhand, but she did pick up the other appliances in there. And then all the things on the top there, we got those at very inexpensive places like Home Goods and Kirkland's and even some of it just secondhand, and then that's just a different angle for the same.
That's the table,
same
yellow.
shot. Yeah, coming
kind of a yellow mustard type.
Yes, and you'll see my frames and things I have here. That's kind of just a color I love right now.
That's a bright color to wake up to in the morning.
Yes,
kind of wakes you up, right?
When I brought this table to her, it was when we were actually selling her other house because again, all this furniture came from there. I said, "Well, do you like it? And if you don't, I'll repaint the top for you." And she's like, "I'm not really sure," but as people came and looked at it, everybody loved it, and she's now used to it. She goes, "It's grown on me. I actually really like it." So sometimes you may not think you like something, but if you give it a little bit of time, you might find you love it.
Okay, somebody watching out there right now might be saying, okay, I like the look of that house. My house doesn't have the same floor plan, but I like the look of it. So if I were to hire you to come in and do something at my home, somebody out there might be thinking that. What do you charge?
Well, here's what I charge. I charge $100 an hour to come and actually look and put plans together, and that's really my forte. I can help.
That's just to put the plans together.
That's just to put the plans. It takes a little bit of time to take the pictures, to put and pick out colors of paint, maybe flooring, things like that, or at least give some ideas and considerations. And then they can have an extensive plan or a real simple plan. It just depends on what they're looking for. And then after that, like in Lisa's case for this house, we had a contractor come in that's amazing, and that guy knows his pricing. And he did everything he did for her with all that rebuild for $40,000. So I handed it over to him. But he did not do specialty cabinet painting for like the Annie Sloan paints. They sprayed those cabinets. So if you really want to go one step further, then we need to bring in, and sometimes I hire out just because I love to paint to do that. So
that living room, that kitchen, dining room, whatever. What did that cost altogether?
Well, here's what we did in that house. We did the flooring throughout. We did painting 3 different colors throughout. We did, one of the bedrooms was actually, you know how they'll take a third or a fourth bedroom and connect it to a master bedroom?
Yeah.
They took out a wall. So she wanted that put back. So they rebuilt that bedroom, and they took her bathroom. It only had a bathtub, and they had to redo a bunch of stuff in there. And then the granite countertops, all of that, everything for $40,000. That included the contractor and everything. So honestly, that was a great price, and we got a good price on that house because it had those issues. See, I went in, found the guy. It was an expired listing, and I actually found him online on the Yellow Book phone number. Took a call and said, "Hey, I have somebody that's interested in your house," and that's how we did it.
So that house sold.
That we bought that house that way. We called the guy and I said, "I know you've got an expired listing. This is the model that she wants." And so we put a deal together, and he knew that he had some issues, that extra bedroom being done a different way. And so we brought the price down to make some room for those changes. And she was able to do that reconstruction because of that. So
yeah, and the house sold for what?
We picked that house up for $255.
Okay.
And that's in the northeast side of town. It's a 2,000 square foot house.
Okay.
Probably we got about a $25,000 discount because of the work that needed to be done, and then the other she wanted to do anyway. So
Right.
it cost her $40 to have it looking. She wanted it to where she could live in it for years.
Yeah, but see, there's that delicate balance too, like I talked about in the monologue. You know, do you want to redo it or sell it as is?
Yes.
You're going to get more money if you do it this way, but
yes. Now, in the guy
it's
that
more money,
sold
more
it,
hassle.
here's the thing. In his case, he'd already had that house on the market and had a couple issues with, I was telling you about the bedroom, the bathroom, and whatever else. It's a perfectly fine house, but it's boring. And in his particular case, he lived out of town. His mother had been put into a facility of some sort. And so it was really worth it to him to come down on price and just get rid of it. Okay, so
Yeah.
for all of us, it was really a big win. So that's
All
what
right.
you hope to do as a realtor.
Halfway through the program here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, Steph Stoltenberg is here. More video, more interior to show you as far as pictures are concerned. 436 MeTV option 11. We're back in a moment.
We need help to find this missing child. Hallie Cummings was 7 when she went missing. She was last seen in Satsuma, Florida in February of 2009. This is what we believe she looks like today at age 11. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. Please help bring Hallie Cummings home.
Euronews, most-watched news channel in Europe.
Ask an Expert Day here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, talking to Steph Stoltenberg. She is a realtor. If you want to sell your home, you want to buy a home, you can call her at what number?
559-213-7998.
Okay, and you're also a home designer,
Yes.
and you redo all these homes. And so I want to go through the house again and show a different part of the house. It's the office. Let's roll that videotape here now, and it's it's rather short. It's only about 30 seconds here. We're going to take a look at it. So what'd you do here?
Now, this room, the reason we went ahead and put it on is to show that the artwork we brought from the other house where we had purchased a variety of things for when she sold, but we're not done with this room. She's got a table there. We have a unit that's coming in. She's been looking for something on Craigslist. She sends me pictures. Now, she's gotten good at it, and she sends me the pictures, and I tell her what I think she should do with things. So that is a little alcove that still has more furniture to come. Everything else fit throughout the rest of the house.
How about the pictures on the wall?
Did you like those? Here's the thing.
Who picked
okay,
those out?
I did, and Lisa, she was very good at giving me flexibility, and she's got a fun personality. So her other house in the upstairs, you'll see where those pictures were up at the very top of her landing of her stairs, and they were a huge focal point. And I know she has a little bit of a sense of humor, so I told her, I'm going to take a risk. I can take them back if you don't like them. But sure enough, everybody loved them. You couldn't miss them. So yeah.
I'm going to take a look at the hallway next here on the program, and then, I don't want people to get the wrong impression here. What are we looking at?
Okay, this is not quite done yet. You can see we've got a little bit of holes there that she's.
Right.
But what Lisa's a school teacher, and she had artwork from her children in these little kind of inexpensive gold frames and whatever else. And I asked her, this seems to be very sentimental to you. Is it something that you want to keep? Because remember, she wants to live in this a long time.
Okay.
So we took everything out of there, and I showed her exactly what to do. You go down, let's get black frames with mats, and let's reframe everything and make it into something that's truly artwork. And honestly, she loves this stuff. The whole hallway, her bedroom, many places in her house has her children's artwork, and her kids are grown. Her last son is in high school, and as they're gone, she's appreciating this. So we're going to fill in those spots with some more that she's working on and make the entire hallway all about her kids.
The only thing I hate about that many pictures, and I have a lot of pictures too on my walls, and that is dust.
Oh,
gotta
my
clean.
goodness.
What?
You know what? Here's the thing.
It's
Do you
a
want to
pain to
live in a
clean.
beautiful house? How hard is it to take a little tiny duster and just dust over them? Hire it out, for goodness sakes. That is not a reason to not do pictures.
Okay, I'm exhausted. No, I'm kidding. No, let me ask you a question now. You talked about $40,000 for this house
Yes,
to redo it from
yes.
top to bottom. But I don't want people to get the wrong impression because they don't have to spend 40 grand.
Well, that
if
was
they
a
want to
whole-
sell. No, that's the whole house. If
Yes.
you have a house, okay, let's say Old Fig Garden,
Right.
okay, and you want to sell it, and it needs a little bit of work, needs a little bit of sprucing up. You don't have to spend 40
No.
grand. How
I'll
cheap can
tell
you go to make it look
Well,
good?
It just depends.
to the
Now,
buyer?
Here's the thing. If you have this, these are my opinions, and it's what I found kind of can make a difference. When I walk into a house, let's say all of the walls were just like those first pictures, white.
Yeah.
That's a huge drawback because people can't get any dimensionality. They walk in and it just doesn't have any personality.
Okay.
A person is better off putting even just a bone color or beige on a couple of walls here and there. Do you know what I mean? Just to kind of give some interest. If you even want to just put up some pictures or take a look at your pictures, if you have hideous artwork on the wall that's outdated or something that you don't want to take with you into a new house, get rid of it in the old house. You know, I talked to Lisa and I'm asking her, do you want to move into your new house that you want to live in the rest of your life with this furniture? It looks like it's 20 years old or something. And she goes, I haven't bought anything in 18 years. I said, okay. And that was the reason she made those choices. So if you're going to take it with you, buy it new before you move. And then if it's something that you don't think somebody's going to like, get it off your walls. And then trims and things like that, or white doors. If you repaint your doors or your trim work, that can make a huge difference too.
So cheap, you can go cheap on
Yeah,
this.
absolutely.
You don't
Do it
have- you don't have to
yourself.
spend
I'm a
40
big
grand.
do-it-yourself person, so.
If you do it yourself, get some ideas, look online, go to the Home and Garden Show.
Yeah, or even I could come in and put in, you know, I put plans and people do the plan.
For $100 for 1 hour, you could give them some really good advice.
Yeah, so it's out there and it's available. But honestly, if a person is not going to do it themselves, then there are people that can come in reasonably and do that kind of stuff.
Let's see, what room are we going to look at now? We looked at the hallway. How about the laundry room? I mean, a lot of people don't think about the laundry room, but I guess you've got to think about it,
Well, here's
right?
what we did. In this laundry room, I'm sure he's probably going to bring it up a little bit. There was no cabinetry in there, and so that did get added. And then we just that's more for children's art. So what I did for her, because her other house was so much bigger and we had artwork and things all over, I came over and she hired me to help her get it up into this house. And it kind of was cool because we had enough to put even in the laundry room. So when she comes home, she drives into her driveway, parks her van, comes in, and everything from the moment she walks in is just beautiful.
Yeah, all right. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Well, my question is, and I'll take it off the air, but question is that when you look at a home that's been set up for sales, sometimes the furniture doesn't match the people that are looking at the home, or it seems like it's a little bit cluttered. Do you have that problem?
Yes. I think that, honestly, you know what? I am a firm believer in Daryl's Mini Storage. And, you know, they have like month-to-month specials. Lisa, even with hers, you know, as a single woman raising children, hers wasn't the inside of her house that was so cluttered, even though we redid the furniture. Her garage, she had like the open system, right? Shelving and everything sitting out on shelves, and it just was way too messy and cluttery. So she boxed that entire garage up, and we put it in a mini storage, and then a few other things in her house that she really didn't know if she was going to keep or not. So yes, to declutter, to get rid of things, because honestly, in the first few minutes a person walks into your house, I can look at their face and see if they're happy or not.
Body language?
Oh my goodness. And it's funny because women are the easiest to read. You know, as soon as you walk in, I'll have a man go, oh, I really like this. And I look at his wife and you can just read it. It's like, this is not going to fit her needs. But the clutter portion of it, a lot of times a person will get anxious. They'll see things or they look at things and it's ugly and old and they have no imagination. Honestly, if you took the stuff out, the structure of the house is amazing. So if you're going to sell, yes, declutter, make sure everything's clean at least. And honestly, I can't tell you how many floors and white trim areas are nasty dirty, and people notice, you know, so it's worth cleaning those up.
Yeah, it is. Got to take a break here already? Yep. Okay, 436 Me TV, option 11. If you want to call in, weigh in on the program. Back in just a moment.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country, the only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Now on channel 13.2.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
I'm just teasing. Back here on the program, Connect with Me, and an email question. You were asking what it's all about. This is a good question, okay, as far as home fashion is concerned. It's kind of like suits and ties and women's apparel, right? Okay, how often should I change out wall colors, art, furnishings?
That's a good question.
My kitchen appliances. How often do I change those out to keep up with the Joneses?
Yes. If it's 20 years, that's too long. But honestly,
really?
Here's the thing. Now, you're talking to someone who does a lot of changing in my own house, right? But I would say every 5 years, you kind of need to take a look, because let's say you don't have to redo everything. And if you buy streamlined furniture, like and artwork that will last for a good long time, not super trendy, that type of purchase will really go a long way. And then maybe it's just a matter of switching out colors. Your daughter liked the pink and brown, right?
Yeah.
But pink and black are really popular things, and that's probably going to come back in too. So you may just have to change a wall, or just change your wall colors and leave your furniture. But really, purchasing things that you think will last a long time is probably the most important thing. The things that you don't want to have to rebuy, and then repaint the walls. Or here's another one, curtains. Right now everybody's really going towards the curtains and not just the toppers and all, and they make a dramatic difference and they look amazing. So, those types of things, every 5 years, you really got to kind of look, because things do change.
You get curtains, you get blinds, they all collect dust. You have to clean them at some point.
See, what is it with you with dusting? You have to clean.
You've got to clean.
You have to clean.
Blinds are a pain in the neck to clean.
Carpets are a pain to clean.
Carpets are a pain in the neck to clean.
Everything, cushions, all of that.
Everything. Anyway.
It's worth it, though.
Let's go through some of these photos before and after, and then we'll talk about some of the frames that are down here in front of the desk here. Before and after, this is what?
This is the main living area of the house that we were just looking at before. You can see how white everything. And I want to just point out something. Take a look at that fireplace and all those cutouts, how lost that is. So my desire was to make it far more dramatic. And you'll see in the next picture, I think it looks, there you go. There's the exact same spot. All we've done, we have 3 different colors of paint. I've got a bone color in the inside. There's my tannish brown I was telling you about. That's as dark as she likes. And the top is more white. So all throughout the house, she has that top shelf going all the way around down even the hallway, and I wanted it to be dramatic. Now you can see we have one little pot up top, but the goal is over time to stick some things up there that even put more drama into the house, and they're things that she likes over time. Maybe she's got a lot of traveling coming up, and I told her, pick one thing you like everywhere you go, and we'll just start adding it to the top.
A 7.0 quake, that pot's coming down on somebody's head.
Well, and that's a consideration, and there's ways to help keep things secure.
I'm giving you a hard time.
I agree, but you know what?
I'm just giving you a hard time, but this looks so beautiful.
Doesn't it look amazing?
That it looks like a
Do you like the fireplace better?
I love everything about it. I love everything about it, and it looks like a different house.
It does, and look at the front door. See, we carried the color over to the front door, and she's got curtains everywhere.
Go back to the before picture again, real quick, if you can, because
there you go. See,
there's
take
the
a
front door.
There's the front door. There's 2 different kinds of flooring. We have all that wood look. It just warmed the whole place up.
Back to the after. Man, looks
There
like
you
a
go.
different place.
Yeah, and that's the goal. And honestly, that's paint primarily. I mean, if you took the furniture out of there, it would still be very dramatic.
Where's this?
This is the kitchen looking towards the back door there. You can see that's the color of the cabinets, that whitewashed oak, and then she had white tile on top.
Yeah, yeah. So there's
And
the
there you
after.
go. And you'll see another one with backing up to see the cabinets. But see the curtains?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I bought those curtains for her at Home Goods, and I think actually all of that was from Kirkland's. It was so ridiculously inexpensive. 2 panels were around $25, and that's what it'll cost you for 1 at Target. So honestly, the window coverings were amazingly inexpensive.
Okay.
And they're dramatic. They're beautiful.
All right, that's the
that same
before.
spot of the kitchen area.
Okay, now the after. From the same spot, I hope. Yeah.
Well, you can kind of see.
Well,
See, it's a little different angle, but and you'll see another one too that
Right, and I
comes
can
up
see
here.
the
But see
office there, too,
do you
right?
like the black cabinets? I mean,
Yes.
I think the black with the granite, and then you've got the brown flooring. You know, she wasn't sure about black until we did it in her other house before we sold it, and it just looks amazing.
That looks incredible. Okay, next one. How about that? Look at this.
Okay, this is one of the bedrooms. This is the very front big bedroom her youngest son is in right now. So there's the before,
Okay.
and that's after.
Man.
So I left, you can see white walls. I left that wall, the main wall there, white so that it would
Okay.
reflect light, and then painted the chocolate coming around. It's not chocolate, it's like a tan coming around, and then we put tan curtains to go against, and all of the bedding. Now, we purchased all of this when we were selling her other house, right? So we brought it in.
Okay.
That's from Walmart. That bedspread is from Walmart, and all the furniture is secondhand. So, and the
Amazing.
little bookshelf on the right, they had that already. So, and then it's just his own artwork on the wall. We framed it is all.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's the bathroom. This is pretty dramatic. There's the whitewashed oak cabinets
Yeah.
with white. And then the next picture, I don't think it looks the same at all. We bought a big, beautiful frame from Kirkland's. We've got the black cabinets. We've got the granite on top. We've got the wood flooring. And then you can't see the artwork on the other wall, but we just hung some nice things and put some pretty pictures up, and it's just beautiful.
Just like, I mean, it's night
It
and
really
day.
wasn't expensive.
It's night
This
and
is
day.
her master bedroom, and once the wall was rebuilt on the side behind us here, it just looks a lot. There you go. So we have her, that's all new bedding that we purchased for her in the other house, brought it over, and then her curtains, she likes straight lines, so I got her some striped curtains. All that furniture is secondhand. The bedding, I think I picked that up at Home Goods, and she loves it. She's just so happy.
Remarkable.
They changed all of this. This is the before of the bathroom. This is one of the major renovation things that happened. So that only had a bathtub in there, and then all that open space. Well, I talked to her about, if you ever want to have like a partner with you or whatnot, what do you want changed different? Well, she gets up very early to run, so she wanted all of that blocked off so that she could be in her bathroom. And there it is. They walled it all in.
Look at that.
And they just left a door open, and then you can see the black cabinet in there. I think there's another one after this that actually shows you the inside. Okay, here's what she had was a bathtub, and she wanted a shower in there, so they took that big old honking tub out and then put in the new granite, the new bathtub, and you'll see the shower next to it after the next picture. And with the little pebbles? No. Okay. It's
That's
okay.
all right.
But those 2 round mirrors, we picked those up at Kirkland's. They were on some double sale, very reasonably, and then new lighting fixtures as well. So
Yeah.
So anyway,
And then
then
this
you
is the
saw this.
entryway
Sorry,
here.
there's that front entryway, and we go ahead and take
Yeah.
a picture just so you see. So we're still working on it. She's got some things to put in there, but basically the structure is there, the artwork is there. We just need a cabinet.
Yeah. Which home would you rather live in or buy? I mean, it's the
It's
after
dramatic,
pictures.
isn't it?
Yeah. Are those all the photos? We went through all the photos?
We have another house.
We have another house. Okay. All right. We're going to take a break here, come back and go through those photos and some more video and show you these frames. Back in just a moment here. 436 MeTV Option 11.
Retro TV, your home for classic television. The greatest shows in history are here for you to enjoy. Join Cosby and Culp as secret agent men in I Spy. Ride along the Ponderosa with the Cartwrights in Bonanza. Hit the beat with Joe Friday in Dragnet. And that's not all. Retro TV offers endless fun and excitement for the whole family to enjoy. Retro TV, the best in classic television.
You can find Retro TV on over-the-air channel 13.4.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Back here on the program, got another house to take you on a tour through this home and show you the before-after photos. 436 MeTV option 11. Let's get right to it here. About 9 minutes left.
This is Lisa's house, the big house.
Okay.
Before she downsized to this house that we just showed you.
Gotcha.
And I just wanted to show you. This is what people walked into to her kitchen. Okay, so her table had mishmash chairs. All the oak in the house was just this plain basic oak, and this is a home on the northeast side of town, close to Clovis North, and it's in competition with people with granite and everything else. So when I talked to her, it's like, is this really the table you want to take? And also, we went ahead, and the furniture you saw in this house that we just looked at, all was purchased for this house to sell. And then she moved it. So here's what we ended up with later. We painted out all of her oak cabinets. This is called duck egg. So I put duck egg on the island in front and black behind. And then you see the yellow table in here. That's when we brought it in, and she was like, I'm not so sure. The curtains were purchased at Kirkland's. We didn't change out any lighting fixtures or anything. We figured the people coming in if they wanted to, so we left her fan the way it was. And then that rug she had in a whole different room, and we really didn't need it. So I went ahead and brought it in here to kind of break up so much tile on the ground, and it looked beautiful.
Okay. This is before?
This is looking at some of the cabinets. We have a few different angles. So she has a lot of cabinets, but that's a whole lot of oak. And then her flooring isn't that amazing, right? Well, we didn't want to change the flooring, so we worked with a little bit of paint, and then the cabinets we painted, and that's the after. Now, what you probably didn't see in the other picture was she used to have a white refrigerator, and she also has white on her dishwasher and her stove. Well, we didn't want to change the dishwasher and stove, but I told her, listen, you're not going to want to take a white refrigerator into your new house, so let's get you at least a stainless steel. And it made a humongous difference. That's the first thing people see. The others you couldn't even hardly see, and with all this black, and she didn't want to change out the tile, so white tile, black cabinets, stainless steel refrigerator, and then we have all the little things we purchased for the top, and it made a humongous difference.
Wow, those are the same cabinets, right?
Same cabinets. All we did was paint them.
Okay, spray paint?
No, Annie Sloan chalk paint.
Okay.
Now this is the real deal, okay? There wasn't spray paint on that.
Gotcha.
This is the living room, and this is her furniture. And so she has a whole nother room that I'll show you in a few minutes where you're going to see this furniture reappear, but it's like, in your next house we're downsizing. So let's move this into your family room that you have now. You probably won't have that much room in the next house.
All right.
And we'll repurchase, because this is the first place people walk into. Now I want you to take a look at the fireplace. We have a white fireplace. We have that kind of beigeish, interesting color, and these old black curtains, and then the furniture, because it doesn't look anything like that in the next pictures.
Stuff.
Okay,
wow.
So we painted out the fireplace with the chocolate, new furniture, blue curtains, and then all the new artwork. And I didn't touch the paint on the walls. I just left the paint and figured if somebody wants to change it, that's up to them. But this was enough drama that it looks like a completely different place.
It does. They all look like different places. It
This
was one of the
room
bedrooms.
was nice and all when we did the pictures for her selling it for the 9 months we had it on the market, but it's blue. Most people are not going to resonate with blue, so all I did was get the bedding at Walmart. We got a different headboard, and we painted it out with neutrals. And my goal was, when people walk in, I want anybody to feel like they can move whatever they have in and have it look nice. So that's what we ended up with.
Okay, next.
Same thing, here we got green. It just doesn't really work. It's not horrible, but most people aren't loving that color. So we changed it to neutrals, and there you go.
So is that the key, neutrals?
Yes, absolutely, because anybody can walk in and go, oh, here's her bedroom, yellow. She loved yellow, but it's like, Lisa, most people aren't going to want to move into this yellow bedroom. It's a huge, beautiful house and bedroom, and so we moved it to this particular green.
Well, how do you know most people are going to like green?
Well, there's a risk at this one, right? But this is her bedroom. That green didn't quite, it's a little bit more muted than that, and it's like more celery, but it matched her bedspread and everything. That one room, and it's just those two walls. The other two walls are white. So we left a little bit of drama, put new curtains in there very inexpensively, and then have her bedding. And you can see those little nightstands? Those aren't going to stay, but we hadn't, by the time we sold it, purchased her new nightstand. So she has some few things that she wants, but it just looks completely different.
Yeah. So is that it for the photo? Okay, that's it for the photos. Let's roll some videotape of the bedroom again. And we got videotape. We've already seen this, but in photos. But let me ask you something. When you come into a place like this, how do you know what the end result is going to be? Can you walk into a room and just visualize? Okay, this is what I need to do. Is it all in your head, Steph?
For me, I can. I actually can visualize on a large scale. Yeah, pretty much. You know, I start looking around, it's like, okay, and it just makes sense to me, you know, and I walk in. Here's one consideration I have, light. If I walk into a dark room, one of the first considerations I have is if I paint this wall dark on the right here, is the window light coming through going to make this room seem dreary? That's a big consideration. So I might make sure that that's a light wall. And then I look at bedding and whatever else and try to figure out what colors would go with, and then if they don't like their bedding, then we need to start there.
But
what
there's
bedding?
so much to think about a room. You got to think about paint. You have to think about furniture. You have to think about flooring.
Yep.
You've got to think about ceiling fans. You got to think about the fireplace. Am I going to change the? So you have all this in your brain.
Yes,
Do you have like a photographic memory of what other places look like, and maybe you want to?
We're all creative in different ways, right? So for me, it's the challenge of, oh, how can we make this beautiful? And so, like, I may not know exactly what artwork's going to go up on the wall, but I know that if we have the bedding, then we kind of got an idea of what color scheme the person's interested in. And so I'll take the bedding, the curtains, and then picking paint. There's so many choices of color anymore that it's really easy for me to go down to Home Depot. I'll take a bedspread with me, a little pillowcase cover or whatnot, and just you know, find some things that match. And it is paint. Remember, if I make a mistake, we can repaint it.
You can repaint it.
There you go.
All right, now come back out to us. Here, this is a gigantic frame.
Okay.
Hey, should I get in the frame here?
There you go.
There we go. There's our picture. So talk about what's going on here.
What I did with this frame, this is a frame I picked up at a salvage company, and I think I didn't probably pay $10 for it. If you look at it like this, you may think it's wood, but it's not. It's plastic. It's just cheap plastic. When I found it, it had this old screen that somebody tried to make it into screen art or whatever, and it was spray painted with a shiny black. Well, the reason I bought it, obviously, is for all the detail. And so here's what I did to it. I took Annie Sloan chalk paint. I painted it all white, stark white, which you wouldn't know because I then took the black wax and waxed it back so that you have all the dark that was in and around the colors. And then I wanted some pop of color, so I took clear wax and my bright blue paint, my most stark blue, and I just dabbed that blue in. So I don't know if you can pick it up on air or not, but there's all kinds of little blue crevices in, and this is what we ended up with. So what kind of
material is this? Obviously it's not, it feels like a tin, almost like a tin.
I don't know, I think it's just plastic. I think it's just cheap plastic.
Cheap plastic. You bought it for how much?
I think I paid less than $10 for it.
Oh my goodness.
I might pay $8.
A great looking frame.
But
and
isn't
we got
it
another
beautiful?
One here. I'm going to stand up and put this one down and get the other one up here. And this one's light as well.
This one is actually an old frame.
Okay.
So it truly would be considered vintage. Okay. And it was in terrible, terrible condition. It was dirty, brown, and so I just took my favorite yellow paint and painted it all up. And really, this was a very simple one because I only painted and waxed it. I waxed it with the dark wax, and then I actually keep this on the wall just as it is, and it's kind of just a conversation piece.
Yeah,
I like it.
You could put a nice photo in here.
Do you
I
like
love
yellow?
It. Yes, I do. No,
I'm
I do.
a yellow
I love
fan.
It. I like it. No, I like the color.
Yeah.
We got how much time? 30 seconds? Okay, we got 30 seconds left. And give out the phone number before we have to go. Hurry.
559-213-7998.
Okay, and quickly, what'd you bring with you there on the side?
Here's what I have. I have just an example of the paints that I use. This is Annie Sloan. There's my favorite yellow. You can see it on here. The wax comes in a container like this, and this is what we use to clean with.
Okay. Steph, got to go. We're out of time. That went by quick.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Great job.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Come back again.
That'd be fun.
All right, Steph Stoltenberg, realtor and home decorator. Tomorrow we'll talk about a different topic, more serious. We're talking about child abuse. See you tomorrow on Connect with Me.